Found my brother pushing my girlfriend against the bed. So I pounced on him and sent him to the hospital. Plus all updates. When I introduced my girlfriend to my family, everyone was delighted with her, even my mother, who tends to be somewhat reserved with foreigners. At this point I must mention my brother. Before the incident, he was my superhero. I always admired him because he never was intimidated by the local children and because he always was very protective of me and our sister. I introduced him to my girlfriend, they became good friends. Time passed and my girlfriend was quite close to my family, especially my siblings. Given the closeness to my family, it was usual for her to hang out with other of my relatives. She would go shopping with my sister and mother, play billiards with me and my cousins, and was at every party my family organized. It was at one of these parties, in which me and my family ended up very drunk, to the point that I ended up sleeping on the floor of my parents' living room. When the party ended, my girlfriend was behaving very weird, and when I asked her what was going on, she told me, "I think your brother tried to kiss me." I asked her to tell me everything that had happened. She told me that several of the guests went to the roof to drink up there to feel the wind. Little by little they all left until in the end only she and my brother were left up there. They drank a while more, and while they were talking, she noticed that he was staring at her, and out of nowhere, he bent down trying to kiss her, but she was faster and dodged it. The atmosphere became very uncomfortable after that and she left. When she finished telling me what happened, I took her to her house, and later I talked to my brother and asked him to clarify the whole story. He basically told me the same story, but from his point of view. He apologized and said that he was so drunk that he wasn't thinking and that he apologized for doing that. Just remembering that conversation makes my blood boil, because at that moment I thought that it had only been a minor incident, something that could be solved with dialogue and establishing some limits. I could never think about what was going to happen next. My girlfriend and I decided not to comment on the rest of my family because we didn't want the relationship to fracture further. After a few months after that, my family organized a party where they invited a lot of people, friends, family and people from our community. It was at that party where my girlfriend and my brother met again. At that point I thought that enough time had passed since the kiss incident and that it could be the first step for things to return to the normal. At some point during the party I lost track of my girlfriend and I started looking for her. I looked for her for a while without seeing her, so I assumed that maybe she was with my sister, but something passed through my head that I decided to look upstairs. While I was going up the stairs I started to hear strange noises in one of the rooms, and when I opened the door, my brother was pushing my girlfriend against the bed.